As Steph said, we are a very small construction joinery business based in Chorley. We'll turn over £3 million this year. We've got 30 members of staff currently. So that's the size of company that we are for this kind of process. And as Steph says, we've previously accessed £45,000. It was completed, I think, in August, September of last year, and we received the funds for it in December. In fact, Salma did a great job for us. One thing I've got to say in terms of getting the money, Salma did a really good job for us getting the money. Hit the bank account on the 28th of December, and I was watching for it on that date, just so you know. The reason we did this, we had two agendas really. Well, actually the company had one agenda and I had another agenda. So it's important that you know that. Very often that you know there may be different agendas. The company was pretty run down. I bought it in 2002. Its assets were very tired. The construction industry, as you know, over the last few years has been very difficult, and we saw it as an opportunity, because we'd done okay, to invest and take advantage of the climate and to get new plant and machinery in place. So that's what we did. And that was sort of the agenda we put to regenerate. We wanted to invest, get new machinery in, make the business more profitable, increase its turnover, increase its employees, which we did. 5 employees they wanted, 5 employees they got. The second agenda behind that really was my agenda, because it was about business saleability. A tired business, its saleability is reduced. It's about business confidence, it's about the confidence of your employees, it's about the ability to attract other people. And I think I was saying to you before, one of the things that doesn't get mentioned is the softer side of the benefits of this kind of process. The advantages that it can have within your company in attracting new and maybe better staff, as well as the hard issues of the outputs that Regenerate will look for. So don't just look for the hard ones, the employees, the profit, the turnover. Look at the softer benefits as well. They're just as important, and they were really important to me, because going through that process has allowed me to do a deal with my management team, which means that they are now actively getting involved in purchasing part of that business from me. That was one of my agendas, and it's come to fruition, so that's great. The process, as they've said, is, listen, it's relatively straightforward, but I'm not going to tell you it's perfect, because it isn't. The expression of interest is easy. The documentation when you go to full application is definitely tricky. It's a business process. It's about planning. It's about having documents that people can audit and evaluate your business on. And as a small business and a small owner manager, I'm more used to gut feel. And gut feel doesn't cut it for these guys. You know, your documentation's got to be right. The way to look at that is that it is a business skill. Once you've done one, you can do another, and we are, and you can access other grants from other people, in my case Chorley Borough Council, MAS, Growth Accelerator, because they all use the same process. So do it. It's a skill. Once you've got that skill, you can use it to take it forward. There are challenges, gut instinct, as I've said. Sorry about the prompt sheet, but it helps me remember the things that are important to me. Time and money. It definitely took a lot longer for me to gather the information that was required than I expected it to take. But at the end of the day, it was incredibly useful for us as a business and incredibly useful to the management team, because we were more used to making on the fly decisions, and this allowed us to make process-led decisions, properly evaluated decisions, and we still use that process now. We're looking at more machinery and equipment. We're using the same process whether we're applying for a grant or not. So it is important, and it does help the business. One thing I will mention, 2 things I'll mention to be careful of in the application, and I'm sorry to be honest, but you did ask me to be honest. The first one is there are some contentious assets that you might look at, but the advisors are incredibly helpful, or were for us, and they will help you through it. If it's got wheels on it, it's tricky. If it's not got wheels on it, it's not, and that includes forklift trucks. The other thing to be careful of, very small item this, but if you pay a deposit by cheque, keep a copy of the cheque, because when they look to validate that you've spent the money, A cheque number on a bank statement won't cut it, whereas a copy of the cheque actually will, and that will help you. And usually you've paid that deposit 6 months before you've had the asset delivered and you're asking for the money, so keep a copy of the cheque. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Fantastic process. That £45,000 grant that we received against £250,000 worth of capital expenditure has made a significant difference in our business. Employee retention has improved, profitability has risen from 2.5% to, you know, I'll tell you the numbers, I've got no problem. The second quarter of this year to the end of June, pre-tax profits 8% from 2.5%. It's made a massive difference to us in terms of investment in the business, as well as to me personally in terms of having a management team that now actually want to buy into the business itself. So definitely worth it. But as was said before by Mandy, I think, be aware of the cash flow implications, because you do have to spend the money before you get the money back. And in our case, I think we were spending it from the previous December through to August, September. Regenerate, in our case, were really great. They got us an interim payment, which was absolutely fantastic. So do ask for that. That interim you will get if you've hit some of the milestones. And then the final payment, as I say, Salma worked fantastically for us on that, was bang on time. It's a great process. Would we do it again? Yes, we are. We're reapplying now, we're in the process. Spoke to Salma yesterday and she was saying that the initial application's in. We're not doing it ourselves. We are using a consultant. We're not getting it paid for. I did make a note of that, and I will come back to deal with that. We are using a consultant because the process is time consuming internally. And a very small business like ours, it's difficult to manage all those implications on your time. So we are using somebody externally. Somebody that Regenerate know, because it's Michael McNicholas. I don't know if anybody else is aware of Michael, but his name's out there now. And it puts a lot of confidence in your business. When your people can see that you're investing, they feel that they've got a future, that attracts other employees, and it works for us. It certainly worked for us. And as I say, in terms of my second agenda, getting the management team bought in, it's been a really good experience. And we will definitely do it again. And the process has helped us achieve other grants from other funding streams. So it was definitely worthwhile from our point of view. Thank you very much.